What's up, you guys? Tyler Huxford here, and for today's video, we're going to be talking about how to save $12,000 fast as a part of your daily routine. On this channel, we love to focus on how to build wealth, increase income, and develop the best daily habits for success. All of these things are for the most part very much in our control. But today, we're going to focus on the other side of the coin. There's increasing income and cash flow, but on the other side, there's reducing what we spend and increasing our savings. And reducing expenditures is completely in our control. And utilizing daily saving habits as a part of a daily routine can become one of the best wealth building habits that we have. So let's jump right in. Here's how you can save $12,000 in a year fast. So $12,000 might seem a little daunting to some. That's a lot of money. But let's break this down just a little bit. In order to save $1,000 a year, one must save $3 a day. That's right, any way you can find to save yourself $3 in a day helps you gear towards saving $1,000 in a year, which means you'll have $1,000 which you get to pocket, save, or better yet, invest. And that may not seem like much, but if you save and invest $1,000 every year for 10 years, here's what that would look like. You would likely end up with around $16,000 at the end of 10 years. But we're here to learn how to save $12,000. So in order to save $12,000 a year, we need to find 11 ways to save $3 a day. When we think about it this way, it becomes much more manageable, a little more digestible, and a little easier to put into practice. So I'm here to provide 11 habits for you to reflect on and hopefully incorporate into your own daily habits. So that 10 years from now, you can have a portfolio that looks like this. $191,000, and not because you were an all-star earner necessarily. This is just because you became an all-star saver. So let's jump in. Habit number 1, cut out the fast food. Now this habit is the obvious and most basic habit. I think we all know we can save money by not eating out, but here's some data to show just exactly how much this is going to help your savings. The average cost of a meal in the US is $20.37, while the cost of the average home-cooked meal is $4.31 per serving. This means by cutting out daily fast food for 2 meals in a year, you'd actually already have $12,000 in savings. For habit number 2, on top of cutting out the fast food, you may even consider eating less or intermittent fasting, depending on your health levels, which is simply cutting out a meal you might have eaten ordinarily as part of your daily routine. Now to some this might appear completely savage, but there are actually loads of health benefits for healthy adults who fast. Bill Gates, Joe Rogan, Andrew Huberman are among the very successful people who incorporate a no breakfast approach to their daily habits, as they found it promotes things like better focus, increased productivity, better metabolism, and cell rejuvenation, which are all benefits from fasting. On top of this, it's one less meal you have to worry about, therefore just a little more money you get to pocket. Habit number 3, on the subject of morning routines, another habit you may consider is discontinuing your caffeine intake in the morning. So whether you're a chronic morning Starbucks customer, a coffee drinker, an energy drink junkie, or even just a gym bro who loves his pre-workout, one of the most expensive habits in today's culture is daily caffeine intake. Usually reducing or cutting out caffeine altogether is going to add up to another $3 a day, either from your coffee, your energy drink, or your pre-workout. And once again, there are loads of health benefits to do this, including better sleep, which means you won't need caffeine as part of your daily routine anymore, better focus, increased productivity, and faster recovery time for us athletes. But there are obvious short-term benefits from caffeine intake too. And if you're standing there thinking, there is no way I could possibly cut caffeine out of my daily routine, consider ways to reduce what you spend on your daily caffeine, whether that means making your own coffee or buying powders to mix for caffeine as opposed to going to the gas station or the store and buying an energy drink every time that you need it. Habit number 4 is more of a step, but step 4 is so important, especially in today's economy. And step number 4 is get rid of your car payment. Folks, this one needs to be talked about. Cars have always been wealth killers. But with interest rates as high as they are now, they are poverty creators. Studies show that the average used car payment is now $528 a month, with new vehicle payments being closer to $729 in a month. Here in Utah County, the rent for the average apartment here is $1,475. And if you're like the average millennial here in Utah Valley, you're renting a private room in one of those apartments for $650 a month on average. That means a lot of millennials are spending about as much on their cars as they are on their places to live. Your saving power can be increased so dramatically if you simply downgrade to a car you don't have to worry about a monthly payment for. Sell your car, buy that Elantra, and then impress your friends with your personality when you show up to the party. Habit number 5, live where you can save. So there's opposing opinions out there on how much house you can afford, whether you own the home or whether you are paying rent as a tenant. I'm on the conservative side here and strongly feel that 33% of your net income or less should be spent on monthly payments or rent where you live. If you're comfortable with living somewhere where you only have to spend 25% of your take-home pay, that's even better. As a tenant, I didn't live in palaces. As a student, as a missionary, as a working professional. But consequently, the money I was able to save during my time as a tenant was largely due to how little I paid for rent each month. The less you spend to live somewhere, the more time and money you can spend living. But more importantly, the more money you can save. It's obvious, but it needs to be said. And if you're unable to reduce what you spend on rent simply by finding another location, you can consider increasing your income, which will go towards your rent by doing things like subleasing to a roommate or renting out unused spaces in your apartment. Habit number 6, evaluate your subscriptions often. Anything you pay for monthly should be evaluated frequently, at least monthly. This includes things like subscriptions, insurance, Wi-Fi, phone bills, memberships, etc. There are great apps out there now, like Rocket Money, for example, which can help you identify subscriptions you may have long forgotten about and don't need anymore. For necessities like phone bills, insurance, and Wi-Fi, there are many options out there now, more than there probably were when you were signing up for those subscriptions, which means you can shop around now and really save some money on bills you're already paying. And for memberships, things like gyms, for example, yoga studios, you might be able to save a few bucks simply by being associated with another group or location. It's always worth noting and considering. Step number 7, use cashback credit cards. Now this is going to go against the advice of many of the financial gurus out there who simply say don't use credit cards. But as a licensed realtor and investor, I strongly believe in the power of building great credit, and it's never too early to start. And cashback credit cards allow you to pocket 1 to 5% of every purchase you make with that cashback credit card, especially something like bills and subscriptions, which you're inevitably going to have to pay for anyways. A good example of this is the Venmo credit card. The Venmo credit card actually offers 3% cash back on utility bills. So go ahead and snag that Venmo credit card and pay your utility bills with a 3% cashback credit card. This way, you'll be earning 3% cashback on utility bills, which you're inevitably going to have to pay for anyways. Habit number 8 is what I recommend if you're just against credit cards altogether, which is that if hundreds of dollars in cash back doesn't appeal to you at all, then you should just pay for everything in cash. Carrying cash around and paying with bills helps you psychologically recognize what's leaving your hand. It's thought to create a scarcity mentality and ensure you're only spending on what you need. Habit number 9, always shop with a plan. Before going to a grocery store, first make sure you're well fed. You will buy all kinds of things you don't need if you're hungry. But go one step further and put a plan together. Make sure you're only buying things that you said you needed before you got to the store. This is also going to help you quantify what you're looking to spend before you buy it. Habit number 10, daily planning, not just for what you shop, but for life in general. To reduce on things like gas expenditures and transportation costs, put together a daily and even weekly plan. Planning ensures you can grab everything you need in the fewest trips possible. It also holds you accountable to what you'll spend on those trips. Planning, above all, reduces impulsivity, and impulsivity is the number one thing that kills our savings. Also make sure to leverage things like carpools for trips that you're taking where your friends and family are inevitably going also. And habit number 11, reduce your utility usage. There's a number of ways to do this, and each family or individual will have their own way to make adjustments here. Everyone's a little bit different. But here are some things that you can do that maybe you haven't thought of. One of the things you can do is adjust your water heater temperature, or adjusting things like your thermostat by even just a degree. By reducing your thermostat by just a degree, you actually will save up to 10% on your annual utility bill payments. Another thing you can do is take cold showers. Now, there are huge benefits to cold showers, which we'll talk about later on this channel. Everything from improving your mood, focus, recovery for athletes, and even speeding up your metabolism, how much calories you're burning out there, folks. But it will also incentivize you to take a little less time in the shower, and you can really save from doing something like this. As a bonus, I'm also here to provide a habit number 12, because I think this habit is so important, which is when you shop, make sure you shop used when you can. No one should ever be above thrift shopping. That just needs not to be a thing. But nowadays with social media, there are really nice name brand stuff out there, including clothes, furniture, and especially electronic devices, which are in great condition and which you can spend a fraction of the price of a new device for. Give it a shot. Before you buy anything you feel you need brand new, check Facebook Marketplace to see if someone is trying to sell the same thing that you are looking to buy. That's it for today's video, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed today's content. Let me know in the comments if there are any other ways that I did not think of or bring to the table in this video, which you have personally used to save. If you like this content, go ahead and like and subscribe. And don't forget about the giveaway. At 100 subscribers, we will be drawing names for anybody who commented in any of my videos here for Hux. And the winner of that drawing will have a $100 Amazon gift card sent directly to their door. To enter, you must comment and be subscribed. Hopefully you already are. Safe investing out there, folks, and we'll catch you next week.